What is good, y'all? I've got some super powerful buffs from my boy Yanmega, probably one of my favorite Pokemon. I have a plushie sitting literally right on top of my monitor, so yeah, I love Yanmega. Bug Dragon is more of a fan requested type. If you're being super pedantic for those type change purists out there, I know that Bug Dragon Yanmega actually makes no sense. I know that in Japanese there's no connection between dragonflies and dragons, and they're not even called dragonflies. And I know that Yanmega has nothing really to do with dragons, so I'm not trying to say this is the most fitting type change, but it's super cool, and it also makes him more unique from the, about 7 or 8 other bug and flying types, with Scyther having speed boost and Butterfree having tinted lens, and I believe the Ninjask also having tinted lens. It would just be very, obviously with Butterfree being a lot less hyper offensive, while Ninjask is like hyper offensive with versatility, and Butterfree having Prankster and being bulkier. So my point is though, it makes Yanmega a lot more unique, and it does fit relatively well, especially for a ROM hack, just because of his like draconic vibes. Obviously the pun is there. He does have like a genuinely draconic design in my opinion, with like the features that he just has, as well as the fact that he normally evolves with ancient power. So it could be interpreted as like, okay, I know it's based off like the Mega era, like the giant dragonflies that used to live back then, but you can interpret that as like, okay, dragon type because it's primal. Regardless though, for any type change purists out there, sorry if you don't like it. I don't know what to tell you. I doubt you'll like all the other type changes in the hack if Bug Dragon Yanmega bothers you. He is also a Bug Dragon alongside Flygon. Flygon being much bulkier, much slower, and having being more of a mixed attacker. However, Flygon has the abilities Levitate and Amplifier. Amplifier giving a 20% boost to moves like Stab Bug Buzz and Draconic Wave. Draconic Wave being bug type Boom Burst. Boom Burst and Draconic Wave both being 125 base power moves. So those are super fun. From the original change video that Yanmega had, he is more of a mixed attacker now. Obviously, special sets are still your main use, but that good physical attack stat means that you can actually take advantage of moves like First Impression and U-Turn with Tinted Lens, which is super fun. U-Turn especially being like really fun on Yanmega with that Tinted Lens and that super high speed stat. So that's really fun. I enjoy that a lot. Also, I think it fits his design better to be mixed, or at least somewhat. Obviously more of a special attacker, but if you do read Yanmega's Pokedex entries, it talks about him being strong physically, being able to, its draw power is incredible. He can transport an adult in flight and stuff. So like it refers to, battle by biting foe's head apart instantly, that type of crazy stuff. So physically, Yanmega does make a good amount of sense. You can also use the Fang moves for coverage, although coverage is not the most important thing on Yanmega, given the fact that you have Tinted Lens, 120 special attack, 126, excuse me, and 146 base speed. If this isn't proof that none of the buffs and changes in this hack are balanced for competitive play, I don't know what is. Anything this fast and this strong should not have Tinted Lens in a competitive sense. But in a round hack like this, it's totally reasonable and fine, especially when literally every single Pokemon in the game gets strong priority attacks. Yanmega will crumble to First Impression. You'll crumble to any of the other priority moves in the game, of which there are literally dozens and dozens of them. There's at least 1 or 2 for every type. And also, like, getting him on the field is a lot harder. You need to do stuff like Parting Shot. That's also why Levitate is useful, by the way, because despite how awesome Tinted Lens might seem, Levitate provides immense defensive utility that will actually let you get your Omega on the field, because it doesn't have that many good resistances as a Bug and Dragon type, and it's very frail. Despite the good HP set, it is very frail now. So it's just going to be difficult to get on the field. It's a very hyper-offensive Pokemon. It would be an absolute blast to use, but you do have to be careful of that. Keep in mind, you're also not guaranteed a plus speed nature or max speed IVs, so despite your very high base speed, which I also gave because it lost speed boost, because I had to get Levitate, because it's a Bug and Dragon type now, speed boost wouldn't even be that great on it anyways, but yeah, what am I trying to show here? The speed stat. Yeah, so for example, if you have like a neutral speed nature with 15 speed IVs, you're only hitting 375 speed. So that will outspeed based 120 speed Pokemon, like a jolly natured max speed IV'd 120 base speed Pokemon, but you're not outspeeding base 125 speed Pokemon with your Yanmega in that case. So you do have to be mindful of that. Any fast, frail, offensive Pokemon like that is always going to be a little bit harder to use than you might think, because of the fact that you're not guaranteed max IVs or a plus speed nature. But as a whole, he's just super goated. I mean, I love Yanmega. He's honestly relatively difficult to use, but if you can get him on the field safely with those pivot moves, like most Pokemon in the game have Parting Shot, there's also an infinite use eject button that you'll get, only one for the most part until the end of the game, then you can buy more. But you can put that on like a super tanky Pokemon just to pivot into your faster offensive threat. And you can use like choice specs and then just go to town, right, with your strong base power moves. Draconic Wave, like I said, is 125 base power with no drawback. You also have Draco Meteor, which is 150 base power. That's absolutely insane. Dragon Pulse is 150 base. Sorry, excuse me. Holy crap, 100 base power. Dragon Breath, 75 base power, has a 30% chance to burn. Dragon Pulse has a 30% chance to paralyze. Bug Buzz, 95 base power, and has a 30% flinch rate. Bug Bomber is really cool on Yanmega. That is very risky. I would only run that with wide lens, but it is really cool because it is essentially, you can use it with Draco Meteor, right? So Bug Bomber is essentially special bug type surging strikes. It's 90% accurate. It's 112.5 base power overall. Hits 3 times, so it'll hit through Focus Sash and Sturdy and Molten Scale and Energy Shield and Tanga Berry and all that stuff, right? So that's super valuable. The only downside is that accuracy, especially on such a frail Pokemon. I would always run wide lens if you're doing the hardcore Nuzlocke. Wide lens is also useful because it gives a 15% accuracy boost, so you can use it in conjunction with moves like Hurricane and Focus Blast for coverage. But Bug Bomber is really cool with Draco Meteor because Bug Bomber will always crit, ignoring the special attack drop from Draco Meteor. So that's a super fun thing to do. Yanma is also super strong and fast and viable. It also has Air Late Boom Burst at level 35, so you could, in theory, abuse Yanma for a little bit longer. You might actually want to hold off on evolving, maybe for like Guzma or something, because you are still super fast, right? So that's kind of a fun little option. It's kind of a meme, like you'd still probably rather use Yanmega for a lot of fights. Also, I didn't cover yet, Yanmega is a semi-pseudo legendary. Sorry, I'm a bit excited. I didn't really mention this yet if you are a new viewer. So not only have I buffed and changed over 600 plus moves in this ROM hack, which you can check out in great detail in that move sheet down below in the description. It's right here. If I haven't showed it yet this video, I don't think I did. I'm binge recording if you can't tell, so I sometimes forget what I said and what I didn't say. But right here on screen, if you look, there's a whole move guide. You can check out all these crazy new move buffs and changes. And then I was saying something about Yanma. I forgot it though. Oh well. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And again, you do have access to instant retraining items, so you can run max attack for certain boss fights for that first impression with Tinted Lens. It's a very valuable offensive tool. Despite the fact that you're super fast, there's always going to be like that last ditch effort. Okay, for this boss fight, this Pokemon is faster than me, and my only way that I can deal with it is this Tinted Lens Choice Band first impression on Yanmega. If I Parting Shot into my Yanmega and kill them, you know, that type of thing. It's very valuable as like a little revenge kill type thing, or not revenge, because in a Nuzlocke, ideally, you never have to revenge kill anything if you're playing correctly. But yeah, that's super fun. First impression, super cool. You also have other good physical options like Lunge and, you know, Draco Jet and all that other fun stuff. So it's a bit of a meme, but it's mostly just for first impression and U-turn, and also just for the flavor of the physical sets. Special coverage-wise, you do have Energy Ball, Sludge Bomb, Giga Drain, Psychic, Uproar, which is Fighting type Outrage, Focus Blast. I don't know if I said Psychic already. Dark Pulse, Venoshock. You get your utility like T-Spikes. So yeah, overall, it's just a super fun Pokemon to use. Choice Specs is going to be a very common item, or Life Orb for a lot of boss fights, because you're so frail, you shouldn't have to worry about like the recoil from Life Orb, because you shouldn't be taking hits, ideally, if you're playing with Yanmega. Although you can actually resist, you know, like you do have some resistances. You resist what? Grass 4 times, which is pretty good. You can get some switch-ins on grass types, especially despite the fact that you're frail. You can switch in on fighting type you resist 2 times. So like weaker fighting type moves or non-step fighting type moves you can switch in on. And keep in mind, most Pokemon in this game do get Parting Shot and other debuffing moves, so it's always nice to like Parting Shot. Now your frail Pokemon can get on the field safer, or you can just use a slower Pokemon with Parting Shot. It's kind of like pseudo teleport in that regard. So that's always really nice to abuse. Overall though, the GOAT, he's got very limited utility, but he does have Parting Shot, he does have T-Spikes, he does have, you know, Sunny Day for certain boss fights if you needed the sun with that buffed Heat Rock and Parting Shot. He's got Screech for like totems as Yanma. You've got like Struggle Bug, which drops attack and special attack. You've got Whirlwind, which is 3 PP and a priority move now. You've got, you know, Razor Wind and Hypnosis, so it does have its own little options. But as a whole, he's mostly just a hyper offensive Pokemon. Super, super sick. I love Yanmega. So yeah, thank you so much for listening. Lastly, I will compare them a little bit more to Flygon though. Flygon, like I said, actually, I'll literally just show you on screen what Flygon has. Flygon is a lot more of a mixed attacker. It's much bulkier. It's still fast. It has much more coverage than Yanmega does, but it's much slower and a little bit weaker especially. However, with Amplifier, Bug Buzz and with Amplifier, Flygon's Bug Buzz and Draconic Wave are actually stronger than Yanmega's. However, of course, Yanmega has the benefit of having Tinted Lens, meaning that it's unresisted, while Flygon doesn't have that. Yanmega is unresisted. So that's awesome. Super, super fun Pokemon to use. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back for more coming up. Peace, y'all. Oh, wait, no. One more thing I didn't cover yet. Jesus. The Semi-Pseudo thing. There's a new tier of Pokemon in this hack, but honestly, I'm almost positive you listen this far into the video, you definitely know what this is by now. But just in case you don't, it's a new tier of Pokemon. There's 2 stage ones. There's even single stage ones like Turtonator and Drampa and other Pokemon like that. For example, some 2 stage ones I can think of right now are Tangrowth, Camerupt, the Bomb of Snow, Pokemon like that. Yanmega fits that vibe in my opinion, and I also wanted the base stat total for him to be fast and mixed. So yeah, thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back for more coming up. Peace.